lot of deer over there. So I'm not sure how good of a plan this is, but that's what I came to do. They're on the other side of this and then up another hill, heading back up and over. So I'm gonna go up and over this on the back side hill. Hopefully I meet up with them, and maybe I'll run into some more on the way. Hello everybody. Just want to give a quick intro to this video. This was a September muzzleloader doe deer hunt in 2022. My setup has changed significantly since then. I'm going to go over the whole setup of what my current 2024 muzzleloader setup is. Show you the bullets I'm using, the weight, and the powder, and go over a little bit of this tripod setup here. The deer are around this in the next valley over. And I am trying to get up and meet them. They're going up and over this ridge line. I started out down there, and this is tough part right here. Almost made it to the top. It's a spot where a deer beds often. That little shelf there in the shade, way up high. Looks like a good spot to take a nap. I got about 5-10 more minutes till I get to the top of this. Somehow I managed to do this. I climbed this mountain, circled it, and they are right down there, still eating in the shade. I'll give you a zoom in on it. Right at the top of that piece of shade. I'm just going to watch them. Probably going to wait for the sun to come up. Once the sun comes up, we'll have the thermals going this way instead of my scent going down that way. And they may come right up over this edge here. A lot of deer over there. Holy cow. There were way more deer than I thought there were. There's probably 15 of them out there. Alrighty, well, came up over here. I think I was right on that rock, right over there. And they came up over here. And, yeah, by the time I got here, they were long gone. And I just want to keep chasing them through the woods. So I gotta head down and all the way back. Haven't eaten yet today. So I gotta get back and get some breakfast, come up with another game plan for this afternoon. So this is the drainage that those deer came up. When I spotted them this morning, they were probably right over there or right down in there. And somehow I got up the other side on the other side of this ridge, up that drainage, looped around this thing. Of course you can't see it because of the sun, and was perched up there. Thing is, I couldn't see them very good. They were down low here, and I got all these trees in the way. It is easier to circle all the way around this thing, all the way around, and come up from the backside and get positioned there, get behind a rock, get behind a log, and you have no uninterrupted, you know, nothing interrupts your shooting lane there. And there's a pretty decent trail coming down through here. You know, they're not going to come through here every single day, but that could be a morning hunt, is get up on that ridge line and see if they come up through here. The only problem about having a big truck like this, it's impossible to get things out of. There we go. That was one hell of a hike. I checked the track on the Go Hunt app, and it says I went up 301 miles and down 302 miles. There's a couple glitches in that Go Hunt mapping app. Like right now, I lost my blue dot. It's out of nowhere. The blue dot tells you where you are. All right, here's the plan. Packing up, I'm leaving, going somewhere else. If anybody is curious, these WeBoost cell phone boosters are amazing. I'll show you what mine is. I've got mine on the tallest extension, but that thing right there gets me cell phone service. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's too lazy to go hunting, and we're talking about a spot that we had gone in the past where we always see deer in the evening. It's about that way an hour. So I think I'm going to get packed up, get things straightened up, loaded up, and go that way. Got a little bored of this area, even though I did have some good close encounters. Gonna try my luck somewhere else. This is interesting. They did a lot of work thinning this place out this summer. All these trees are cut down, probably for fire prevention, but there's just stacks of them everywhere. It looks weird up here, very thin. A whole bunch of stacks. Well, it looks really different here, but this is a small patch of BLM. I don't know if it's maybe 1 square mile, two square miles. I'm gonna head on down the trail and see what I see. I don't know if you guys are gonna pick that up, but so I'm obviously at the end of the public land, and right up on top of this hill here, there's elk bugling. I've heard about 5, 6 bugles. You guys hear that? Probably not. A little windy, but that's crazy that there's elk right there bugling. Right up there, that sign marks public land. So they had this all marked off. All you gotta do is go back. There's another bugle. Dang, that's crazy. So in order to get up to the public, you just take the trail back, and then you can get up onto the national forest. It's wild hearing all those bugles right there. Well, I'm just out for a walk with my gun at this point. But I came back to this watering hole that I had a camera on last year. And it looks a little wallowed up. Kind of nasty. A lot of deer come to drink this water in the middle of the day. I've got video footage of a whole herd of elk drinking out of this, bears drinking out of this, moose. I was thinking of putting a tree stand right up in that aspen tree. So far this Go Hunt mapping app sucks. Elevation's wrong for some reason. It says we're only at 3,000 feet, and that's not where I'm at. I'm not there. Hit this button. No, the only way for this to update the GPS location is to shut the app down and restart it. Then it'll bring that blue dot back to where you are. Well, I've come back to the first place. Got a bad vibe at the other place. Too much elk pressure on the deer. And I never really had much deer activity over there. But that over there, that's what I climbed up this morning. This is the hill that I looped around, and I found them up there. So I'm on this little mini mountain here, and I'm watching to see if they come down this one, or if they come down this one, or if they come down at all. As I can see quite a ways. And it's going to stay here till about 6:30. I got to be leaving the trailhead at 7 in order to make it home by 9. They should be up and on their feet right now, somewhere back over that side of the mountain. Well, time to go home. It's a school night. Don't be waking the kids up, coming in the door at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Just on my way out and found a skeleton. Probably from last year. There were still some chunks on some of it back there. Looks like it was a doe deer. Yeah. I'm not sure how to age them, but since they got all their teeth, or since this one has all its teeth, not too old. Now it's more backbone. Leg bone. No saw marks. Kind of strange because the trail's right there and the road is right over there. Wonder if they recovered it. Is there more up here? There's the pelvis way up here. Maybe it's more than 1 year, 2, 3 years old. I'm going to go over the muzzleloader and the improvements that I have made to this setup. I'm going to start with the sight. In the video previous to this one you're watching, I had a last light situation. Had a deer at 66 yards. Got down on one knee and man, I really couldn't make out the crosshairs on my sight. They were target sights that normally would be in use during the daytime and you're shooting at paper. Very, very accurate. That's why I liked them, but not so good for low light, shooting at a dark colored deer standing in front of a dark colored pine tree at 7:30 at night, 7:20 at night. So I'm gonna take this apart real quick and slide that out for you. You can change the reticles of this sight. You see how that green dot there replaced the crosshairs. Now I took it a step further. I drilled out side holes to let more light in, and, it's not loaded, I polished the inside to a mirror finish. I'm not sure if that's going to show up or not, to reflect as much light as possible on this this little fiber optic dot there. I've also upgraded my tripod. This is more my precision rifle shooting tripod. It's pretty lightweight. I can take the bottom two legs off if I want to reduce weight even further, because I'm not going to do any stand-up shots from a tripod in a hunting situation. I'm going to be down low, and the first two leg sections would get me up above any grass. This is the Leofoto SA324C. I believe that stands for 32 millimeter, 4 sections, C for carbon fiber. That's just the tripod. The head, I'll zoom in on this, is a direct copy of the Really Right Stuff Anvil ball head, and it's pretty awesome. I'll give you a close-up of this. The head is an MA-30L. You can get us on eBay. So they're listed on eBay, and you can make an offer. I made a lowball offer on this. The way it works is you submit your offer, you're ready to pay with that offer, and it's an automatic payment that's processed if the seller accepts it. So within 1 hour, it was a done deal. I made an extreme lowball offer on this. I believe I offered $125 less than what it was listed at, and I think it was right around $400, maybe $300. Couldn't believe it. It's an awesome setup. That's the tripod, that's the head, and you can buy this whole thing in a complete kit on eBay. It's a little bit different than your traditional ball head. The ball is actually in the head. You can spin it around, and then, of course, it's easier when there's a rifle on there. Close it down, holds both the Arca rail and a Picatinny rail. So almost all my rifles have at least a Picatinny rail on the bottom. Some of the precision rifles have an Arca rail on the bottom, but I also incorporated this Atlas bipod into my setup. If I am going out on a hunt in an area where I'm going to go on a long walk, maybe I don't want to take this. Maybe it's not where I go get set up and wait for them or something. I can use the Atlas bipod. There are extensions that you can get for your legs if you want them longer. All right, now for the biggest game changer and the range and the accuracy of this rifle. So when I went out on this hunt that you just watched, 100 yards was kind of pushing it. I was having consistency issues. Not big issues, but and it was all in about the load, the consistency of the load. I'm an expert marksman, but the load was not, just was not consistent enough to have consistent groups. So I was comfortable at 80 yards, and I'm pretty picky with group sizes. How did I achieve such awesome accuracy? Changing up my powder was step one. Getting rid of the black powder, or your traditional black powder, that 777, and I switched to Blackhorn 209. I'll put a link that, well, maybe, I'm not sure if YouTube even lets me allowed to put black powder links down there. Blackhorn 209. You can shoot this thing 20 times in a row and not clean it. With your traditional 777, you got to clean this barrel after every shot. It just doesn't foul the barrel like standard black powder does, or 777 does. Another change to my setup is this amazing invention. This is my speed loader. Powder goes in here, primer's there, bullets right here. Very interesting bullet, all copper bullet. Power belts. They're designed for close range deer hunting out in the east, where you're shooting deer at 40 yards, maybe 50 yards maximum. But out here in the west, 100 yards is a close shot. I could easily take a 200, 250 yard shot with this current setup. These are the projectiles. Thor Elite Performance Muzzle Loading. These are 300 grain Thor bullets, ballistic tip. This is what it looks like. And you have to get a sizing kit for your 50 caliber. So you'll You'll order a sizing kit because not all 50 caliber barrels is exactly .50. So they'll send you out different bullets and you push them down and see which one has just the right amount of resistance, and then you'll order that. I carry one of these speed loaders, or two of these speed loaders, in my bino harness, and I can do a full reload in under 60 seconds. You can carry extra powder in these. This speed loader comes from, they're called Cedar Mountain Quick Loaders. I'll see if I can put a link for them down in the description. Total game changer. I took a couple animals last year in 2023 on a hunt that I didn't film at all, so sorry about that. The biggest change I made in my setup is that Blackhorn 209 powder. And you have to use specific primers. Back when the primer shortage was around, this is all I could find. These are for shotgun shells, 209s, but these have been working really good. No misfires, no delays, no nothing. This coming fall, if I get the tag that I want, I will still be hunting with this. I'll be going after whitetail. I will not be in the mountains, I'll be out in the plains. I may switch it up to a Federal Premium Shotgun 209 primer. Blackhorn 209 powder, they won't work with your standard muzzleloader primer. So if you have muzzleloader primers, it won't work. If you guys have any questions about muzzleloader hunting, this tripod, the sights, I'll put a link down there. I want to say it's like Williams or Wilson. Other updates to the channel. Earlier I said this hunt was from 2022. I've got some catching up to do. Currently, I'm doing some bear shaft tuning for my new bow, and it's not going well. I'm gonna have to go out and get a whole different spine arrow. Hopefully I don't waste too much money on chopping down arrows. What is my new bow? And why would I need to tune an arrow instead of tuning the bow? Thanks for watching. Goodbye.